How you guys doing today? And well, guess who's back? Well, if you have been wondering where I've been, the main reason is I got a new job. Teaching sucks, and I think my school was fine. My principal, I never talked to a day in my life, honestly, like 3 times. That's cool. My admin was great. Teachers were great, but I drove an hour one way. I got paid like $50,000. It was not great. So I now have a remote job. You can't see my desk that has a laptop right here, another camera right there, and 2 monitors over here. I'm actually an instructional designer now, so I actually make courses and content professionally, which is pretty sick to think about that. I started my own little company on accident, and then it ends me up getting a new job, making a lot of money, I guess. That's pretty cool. So I still trade. I still do the whole entire thing. It's just I've been very busy and had to kind of put myself and my family first for a little bit. But we're back. Let's get into it. We got 8 great plays today. I know some of y'all are like, oh, what kind of funny jokes you have today, Evan? Not many, because it's been so long. But that's okay. We have 8 great plays today. I kind of want to just jump into it because it's been so long. I kind of miss talking to y'all about stocks and stuff. We're going to be talking about supports, resistances, trend lines, patterns, EMA lines, volume profile, RSI, stochastic, and the vortex indicator. Those 9 things in that order have never left my brain. It's like what I hear in my sleep now. The cat's with me. He gave us a scare last week. He drank a lot of water, so we thought that he had kidney problems. Turns out he's just fat and had a lot of sodium that week and drank a lot of water. He's fully healthy. No Gremlin cam today because I have it hooked up to my other computer. We'll get that back soon. With that being said, the watch lists, the Discord, the early access videos, 25 extra classes, 15 total, all on my Patreon, link in the description box, and my website, bythebulls.com. It's being funky. I'd probably go to the Patreon for now until I really figure out the website. It's been a real jerk lately. But bythebulls.com, my Patreon. Come check it out. We're doing a half off, 50% off my whole entire deal on my Patreon because it's a bear market. Less plays to take, less things to do. So I'm charging less. Go check out my patreon.com to go get a great deal. With that being said, 8 great stocks today. Let's get into it. So first is CCJ. This is in fact a great industry. I like me some CCJ, some NXC. All those kinds of plays are just delightful. We'll start with our support play. The white line is support here. We can see clearly that we had old resistance turning into support, holding up BEA Utah Fleet. We have a nice resistance that we can see in this trend lines here. It's a pretty idiot-proof play when you think about it. If you do lose $20 or so, you just get out. So, I mean, we're risking what, like 4%? I have a fucking eye for this. You lose 4%, you can get out. You're probably going to make around 6 to 8% for a small move, so about 2 to 1. It's not bad. The only thing I see as a downside here is that the POC right here, and there's a whole video about the volume profile on my page. The POC is going to be gravitational and want to pull us higher, but the issue being it's also going to be a strong resistance. So you have to kind of weigh your timetable. Do you want to do a quick trade, hit the POC and get out, and kind of do a 1-to-1 risk versus reward? Not ideal. Or have faith that the support trend line and then the gravity from the POC pulling you up will get you over that resistance to make it a 2-to-1, 3-to-1 kind of risk versus reward play. In a bear market, if your first thought is not risk versus reward, shut the hell up and try again. Got him. Besides that, great trend here, great support, solid resistance overall. I do like what I see. For a bullish play here, I would definitely check out going long. When it comes to our indicators, let's see. I think that there's 2 easy ways to enter a stock. The first one being value. Value is easy. You go, hey, the stock's at $20 for this example, I'm a buy in. The second being momentum. I use the EMA lines to judge momentum among other things, but usually EMA lines for a crossover or cross under to help me show momentum and buying into and out of momentum. And so for a beginner, you could definitely buy into value. Value is $20 to $20.50. Anywhere in here is fine. But if you like to have some kind of sense of confirmation, see how over the 10, you're going to have a good time. Below the 10, you're having a pretty bad time, right? You do have some fake outs, but over the 10, pretty good. If you want to give up 2 or 3% of your profit to get over the 10 and ensure you've seen a reversal, that makes a lot of sense here. RSI 30, stochastic is actually showing a bullish divergence. Those are higher lows and those are lower lows. That's a bullish divergence. Bulls are low, bears are high. Across the board, CCJ has been a snack every single time that I've called it, and this should be no exception. I'm not saying it's going to go green, But the risk versus reward's evident, the sector's evident, the industry's evident. If the markets go green tomorrow, I'm looking at CCJ. I think it's a really good play. I do like what I see. Next is CNK. Call the AMC, folks. We're going to Cinemark, baby. We're going to go there instead. Dorks. So CNK here is a really nice support play. What I'm seeing on the 10-year, look at price targets. You can see those are for my members. What we can see is good higher lows across the board, but also great lower highs as well into this horizontal wedge. If you're like, hey, CNK is a dumb investment, it's an easy short, it very well could be. If you see a move beneath $14, preferably $13.80 or so, and it goes red, this is a really easy spot to short. Anywhere in here, very easy short. For me, it's a good go long though. Yes, you have the lower highs, but the higher lows does instill some form of confidence in me that we could still go long here. Pretty easy play. The POC again is gravitational. See how much action bounces off this line. It wants to be at $17 for now. If we can see that, I'd be very happy. I would go long if markets are green, but if tomorrow's a red day, I think CNK could also be a very easy short, especially below $13.80, but I do love what I see for a go long at this point. When it comes to our indicators, again, value is maybe $13.80, $13.50, anywhere in here, below the volume profile line here, wherever you feel comfortable, it's fine. If you want to wait 2% to see a reversal over the 10 EMA line, that works as well. RSI is at 33, stochastic is low. I don't think there's any true divergences. I mean, you could probably be pretty nitpicky and find one. I don't see, if anything, I kind of see more of a bearish one, where you have this and down, and then this and up. I see more of a bearish divergence. That's why it's selling off again. But it's fine. Bulls are lower than bears, but starting to tie up here. With the bulls and bears and the vortex getting close, that is implying there is some form of consolidation, which makes sense as a horizontal wedge. And whenever one breaks out, we'll have a really good day. CNK to me makes more sense than AMC. I said it. Be in the comments angry, you buffoons. But overall, I do love what I see. I'd watch list it. I would go long here, and I do love what I see, but if markets are red, also an easy short. Could go either way. Next is DBO. This is about oil. Now, I'm not Mr. Fundamental. I appreciate fundamentals. I use fundamentals, but I'm not overly excited about fundamentals that often. Seeing as it is an oil ETF, if oil prices continue up, don't short this. Fucking idiot. But if you have any idea what they're doing, I think oil is getting too overpriced. We have interest rates going up. Oil should come back down. If that's your argument, this makes a lot of sense to look at, because I think DBO here, I'm not an expert on oil. I'm not good at everything. Ask my fiance. She's never satisfied. DBO is a really good short. It has, a nice wedge up here, and it's starting to get real close to breaking this support. This was a great ascending triangle. Boop, easy breakout. But now this support area is starting to teeter. It's starting to kind of come down. Sure, you could argue 1825, 1850 is more of a support, but this is very clear as well. And it's starting to break down to it. So again, if you want to do risk versus reward here, let's say it goes green tomorrow. Okay, I'll risk 2%, stop out here at 1950. But this does come down to our next area of support somewhere down here. We're talking 9-10% for an easy short. So wedge ups tend to break down, wedge downs tend to break up. The POC wants us to be more down here towards $12. That makes more sense given where oil prices usually are. And the strong resistance, support breaking, wedge up. A lot of things tell me go short tomorrow if markets are red and it makes sense to you. When it comes to our indicators, it's important to note that technical analysis is more important than indicators. So some of these may be like, it's a good value, but we still lean on TA more than we do indicators. We're not amateurs here. If you see a 200 EMA break, that's a really good sign of it breaking down, right? It's whenever it's below the 200, it absolutely tanks. And I'm not talking like, a few percent. I'm talking like 10% moves here. It just comes down hard. And so if you see it break down beneath the 200, that's a great sign to go short for sure. It's never done that in the last few months. It breaks at 200. We're seeing it starting to crumble. RSI, it's low. Stochastic, it's low. Bulls are low. Bears are high. Yes, that all makes sense. It's coming down from, 21 to 19. It's a good 10% sell-off. But overall here, if you think that oil is overpriced, it's due for a correction. I'm not saying it is, but if you think so, this is a great place to look for a good short. DBO, I like what I see. I'd watch list it. It looks like it has a good chance of being red if markets are red. But seeing as it is an oil ETF, there's a chance that markets are red. This may go green, right? So make sure you guys do your research, do your thing. But technically speaking, easy short. Next is Denberry, almost like Denver. Go Broncos. What we're looking at here, idiot. What we're looking at here is a very easy support play. I lean going long, even though I do see lower highs, right? This should be your first sign of a descending triangle forming, and I would definitely do that if it was like iHeart, right? iHeart, as we saw, was getting way tighter and had way less room to move, while Den still has, 20%, 30% worth of clearance. So I'm not worried about it shorting out here. Now, if this trend line goes on for a few more months and it gets down to here, we can talk about short. But here, I think it's a really easy go long, great horizontal channel. Very easy play. The volume profile POC wants to pull us higher to about 20 or 72. Easy 10% right there. And again, we do have even here, short time, lower lows, making a nice little channel down almost here. See this? Live, like channel 5. We can see we do have lower lows here, but even then, you could build it into your risk management. Like, I want to see it at 60. It drops to 60. Okay, now I'm risking 2% to make a big move here. So keep that in mind, lower lows, lower highs. But I think soon DEN will bounce and make a good move. If DEN does break down further, becomes a very easy short. When it comes to our indicators, my lovelies, this is a pure value entry. Again, to rehash. You buy value when the price is low. You buy momentum when you cross an EMA line. As we can see, the 10 EMA line, 50 and 200, what I use, are too far away. You're not going to wait and be like, oh, wait for 10 cross, and you wait like for an 8% push to get over this. You're buying into value. It's a value purchase. You have no confirmation of a reversal yet. Keep that in mind with your risk management policy in this bear market. RSI, it's low. Delicious. Stochastics at negative 80. Delicious. And then bulls are bottoming out, bears are super high. This is what you want to see for a nice play. It's pretty idiot proof. You have one line. You got us white line, a nice support line. Whatever color you want to make it, it's up to you. Do your thing. If that line breaks, you can go short. If you have that channel down drawn and it breaks that supporting trend, go short and let it do your thing. There's one thing we're looking at, it's that support line. Otherwise, DEN's a very easy play. I do like what I see. I would definitely watch list it. Next is METC, Metco, Ramaco. That makes sense, idiots. This is a really good wedge here. We can see a longer trend up and a shorter trend down, right? So we have more bullish momentum here, going right into this beautiful support line. I may be a bit, what's the word? Overconfident, overzealous. The support's probably closer to like 1340. This makes a lot more sense to me. Right, so looking to enter probably around 14 to 1350. Anywhere in here is a really good value. Again, the POC wants to pull us higher. Great higher lows, great lower highs. It makes a big move. I mean, we're risking 7 or 8% here. That's way too much in a bear market like this. You have to protect capital. Cash is a position. But if you get on to $14, we're talking 4 or 5% risk. For a small move is 3 to 1. Good move is 4 to 1. A great move is 6 to 1. And a breakout's like 10 to 1. It's a great position to play when the risk management makes sense. It doesn't make sense here. It doesn't make sense here. If you have LA wave theory, you have another little wave down probably, and you're probably going to get down to $14 or so, and you have no green. Why are you rushing in? Let this come to you. If it takes off tomorrow and does this, screw it. You're close. It is what it is. But for me, I want to see a little bit lower. I love what I see. Lastly, I'm not looking at the indicators. I'm going to make eye contact awkwardly. If the 10, 50, and especially the 200 EMA line are in the middle of the two trend lines. Let's do this. In the middle of the two trend lines, like this. All three are going in the middle. Yuck, yuck, yuck. It is definitely a wedge and showing consolidation. Let's check together. So we're going to hit Daddy Snacks. Make it nice and big. And check. Oh, boy, gee willikers. There's your 10. There's your 200. And there's your 50, all directly in the middle. This is 1,000% a consolidation play. If you want to play the breakout, that's fine. To me, risk versus reward wins in bear markets, buy low, sell high. So this is definitely a consolidation play. A 10 cross in a few days makes some sense. It doesn't make here. Buying the value is definitely a play towards $14. RSI, it's low. Stochastic, gets low. If it reverses soon, which I don't think it's going to, if it does reverse soon, it will form a bullish divergence. We will see. I don't see it happening here, but it might. Bulls are low, bears are high overall. METC is a really good wedge play for a breakout. I do like to buy my breakout plays low, which doesn't really make sense to call it a breakout play then. But the whole entire play is formed off consolidation Whatever volume comes in, it'll make a big move. I love what I see for risk management. It's just a good play. METC, I'd watch this. I do love what I see. About halfway through the show now. Next is NVT, an easy short. This may look like a weird chart if you watch me often, but again, I have to keep up with the times. I have to short more. I'm not a big fan of shorting, but it is what it is. Very easy short. The reason being, this was your support at $31 on the dot. You know, like Usher said, 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top, cruising the streets. What we're seeing here is that 31's breaking down. Every time 31's broken down, it came back up. What did it do? Came all the way down to 28.50, right? This is what we're looking for, is a nice move to the 28.50s probably. This is now going to become a resistance. Now that we're below it, we're not showing any life really, and it looks really good. On top of that, we had a nice trend lined up, 5 or 6 solid hits, and that thing just gapped down and said, see you later, dork boy, and it came down hard. And so we're looking for an easy short here. Unlike METC, that was a value purchase, this will be a momentum short. There's no reason thinking this is a good value after you could have shorted at the top here and you're down like 17%. This is a momentum play, so keep that in mind. If you don't have momentum, you like to buy into, reward, or like buy into risk versus reward like I do, this may not be the play for you, and that's okay, right? We all like different things. What we can see is while you're beneath the 10 EMA line, you are clear to short, and this line should be used for risk management, in my opinion. If you cross over that, you're up 4 or 5%, you get out. Call it a day, you lost. All right, hold the L, sweetheart. But if you're beneath it's been a minute. If you're beneath the 10 EMA line, you're good to short. RSI low, stochastic low, bulls are low. Again, that makes sense, right? But that's where beginners get caught up, is they go, oh, RSI at 20, it's a good value. Value don't mean shit if you have no support, right? If it's just low, it is a bad company, right? If you bought AMC at 70 and you see it drop like a break to 60, you're like, oh, it's a good value. No, it's not, sweetheart. Tesla at 1,000 down to 900 does not make it a good value, right? Value and price are different. There's no value if there's no support or structure there with built-in risk management. NVT to me has lost all of it. Easy short. I do love what I see. Damn, I'm ragging on AMC today. All over my Twitter. Sucks. Next is SLB, another short, the same exact play as NVT. So if you like red, you like shorting, this is another great play for you. You can see possibly 36.63. Zoom in. This candle right here may have been your saving grace on Friday, but we're now below that. There's no clear support until probably 34.86, and that's a good 4 or 5% move just to hit that. And even then, the momentum here is so strong, I think we're going to be seeing probably closer to 30s and high 20s here. I'm not going to go in depth on what I'm seeing. It's a very easy play. You've lost support. Resistance was here. Now resistance will be here. Support's probably closer. Again, your first one's here. This is now going to be your resistance. Live on camera. Boom. So now we're looking to see 35. If we lose that, we're looking probably closer around maybe 31 here. Easy short. Again, while we're below the 10 EMA line, you're good to short. See, when you're above it, good move. Below it, short. Above it, good move. Below it, short. Above it, good move. Some plays follow it really well. Some don't. Like, this is okay, right? This is a really good run-ups on it. And when you're below it, it is really clear. When you're below it, it's a good short. So again, here, you're below the 10 EMA line. It makes sense. And once again, all the indicators are low. And again, I don't really care, right? If the indicators are low, RSI says it's a good deal. Don't care. There's no support here. Again, SLB, easy short. We're shorting into momentum. Not my kind of play. But there's not many plays at the top where we can go, oh, look at a triple top. I can short that. There's not many of those because, well, no stocks have all-time highs right now. They're all getting destroyed. So easy short. I like what I see. I would definitely watch this. And last is WFRD Weatherford. You see that? MTC? See that? METC? Ramaco. WFRD Weatherford. Oh, that makes sense. Keep up. This is a really good trend up. Beautiful, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4 solid hits. Again, you have really nice bullish momentum here. And again, you could come down here and be like, well, I think actually the trend line's closer to wherever. Boom, Dorcas. It actually lines up perfectly. I checked that earlier. Shut up. What's also nice is we can see we have a nice channel up possibly forming here, giving us plenty of room to run up here. It's a great bullish setup. The POC's at 34 pulling us higher. And if you're going to see a move to 34, we're talking 15, 18% move. That's really nice. Great support, great trend line. Overall, is everything that I want. I do love what I see. When it comes to the rest of our indicators for this nice bullish play, a 10 cross is fine. It's serviceable. We're talking 3 or 4%. I like value myself personally, but I think this is a really fine 10 EMA crossover. If you get caught, let's say tomorrow's like the futures are like F it and go up 2% and this crosses, you can then go into that. But for me, I want to buy into value. And again, look back historically. It has good 10 EMA run-ups. It runs up really well on it. It runs nicely down it. So again, if you do see a crossover, buy into it if you want to. It makes sense to me. RSI low. Stochastic is low. You can't call this really a divergence. I mean, it's a double bottom right here, but this is such a weird candle. I can't really count it, honestly, and that's okay. What I can count is this one. There's some in here. There's something going on here. It's close. It's close. Bulls are low, and then bears are high. WFRD, a great trend up. This and CCJ, METC, and CNK, to an extent, have really good trends up, while like DEN is just a support play. So if you're more of a beginner and you're like, I want more levels of security, more levels of support, start there. If you're more of a veteran who can use fundamentals and kind of, look into it, DBO and DEN makes some sense too. I like all these plays a lot, but WFRD, great trend up, great support. I do love what I see. Thanks for watching. I know it's been a minute, but again, I'm kind of like low-key being an adult and like, working a job from home, which is like so sick, is tight. And I appreciate having this new job. I should be able to do a video 3-4 times a week now. I mean, at least, hopefully. It just depends on my schedule. I do have some other family obligations, extended family, some time needing support and time with me to help them out with stuff. So, y'all get it. We're getting over COVID. I can't spend 16 hours a day, all the day sometimes, but I'm still here to help and do my thing. Otherwise, have a good rest of your guys' day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Should be back. And I appreciate y'all more than y'all know. In case you're, look at that. Look at his boy here. He's still here. Grellman's still here in the same exact box as before, months ago. Good boy. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks.